What's your favorite drug?
Allergy medicine.
Coca-Cola.
Ibuprofen.
Robitussin.
What is happening?
Man, I was very excited to do this podcast. That answer just went so many different directions. No, see, not get into that. Well, let's get into it.
Frost, did you say lean?
I don't
I
think
said Robitussin.
Robitussin.
Over here, overdosing on cough medicine?
I don't even know why I said that. I've had Robitussin once. You know, I actually
Because
had...
of rap music.
Huh?
Because of rap music.
Yeah, I was just thinking of the Drake line.
It's also like flu
I
season.
think I need some Robitussin.
I think I need some... What'd you say?
I think it's also because flu season, right? You were sick a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I could have
Then
just
you
said
need
medicine
Theraflu.
too, but
You know,
instead I said drug.
I said
just wanted to see what you
Coca-Cola.
guys would say.
Because the first
Hey.
thing I thought of
Yo.
was like LSD and all this other stuff, but I've never done it. But like when you think
Sugar-
of drugs, I think
sugar
of hard
would've-
drugs.
Wait, why
And I
was that
like,
the first thing you thought of?
Because he said drugs, and that's like, I was just thinking of all the
Sugar
hard
would have
drugs.
been a good one too.
That's
Oh,
true.
yeah.
Caffeine. Oh, why didn't I say caffeine?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I literally have coffee in front of me.
Yeah, I mean, all of like... No promotion of drugs. In general.
Well, thank you guys for listening to another episode of Strange Flavors. My name is Amber,
I'm FARAS.
My name is Ahmed.
and sadly, we do not have SHAH-AMEER here today, but that means that I get to take over. Hello, hello. We are brought to you by Alif Theory. You can email us and send us your music at strangeflavorspodcast@gmail.com. And be sure to like and subscribe to our podcast on all of the apps. Make sure you leave us a review because it helps us a lot. Like, follow us on all of our social media, and you know what? Interact with us because we just want to have a conversation with you guys. And don't forget to subscribe. And, you know, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see that we're not in our normal location. This is an underground secret location, and we are bringing you a secret
It's on the
podcast.
Emma's got his elf Christmas sweater on,
Sweater.
which we just had a little ugly Christmas sweater party / white elephant thing at Amber's house. Which
I don't
was-
really think it was like an ugly. It was just like wear a sweater.
Yeah.
No one really wore an ugly
It
sweater.
was a holiday theme party.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
Holiday
what
theme.
what did you guys get as your gifts, and were you satisfied with them?
Yeah, I got a Echo, like the
Well,
Alexa.
Emma got a good deal because
Yeah.
he originally got this like iHome speaker thing, and then
And he
someone
was
stole it from
excited
him.
about it. He was really
Yeah,
excited.
I was
He
like,
wanted
yo,
it.
like I want this because it's amazing.
Yeah.
And then our friend Sana decided to like steal it, and I was so.
Well, you can't
sad.
say it that rudely because it was her birthday yesterday, and yeah.
He's
so
just
be nice.
he's just expressing
I'm
how
just
he felt.
expressing the exact emotion, right? And then right after I got
and
to,
we were all like, "Oh, like that sucks," because
and
Emma
like
clearly wanted
Sana's
it.
like one of the nice ones. Like she would like was like I don't know if I want to steal it. I feel bad. And I was like, no, go ahead. But really, I was like, don't do this, please. And then I got to pick a gift because you know, like
When somebody steals it.
when somebody steals it, you get to pick another one. And then I got the Alexa, and I was like, if someone steals this from me, I'm leaving, because I really wanted it. I was like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But then you were happy, and now like your mom is using it more
Yeah,
than you.
Yeah, she's just like setting up surahs and from the Quran.
She's
to
playing
be
the Quran
played.
on
That's
it.
that's a
Yeah.
really good way to go about having an echo. Like,
Yeah,
what does
yeah.
she tell to play it?
She just is like, hey Alexa, play this surah, and then it just does it.
Wow.
And she like set a reminder for like every morning at 7 it plays Surah Yasin, and I'm like,
Wow.
I pop up my phone, I always pause it.
Oh no.
I'm like, bro,
What'd you end up getting?
I got an UGG blanket that Emma brought. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
literally the coziest thing ever. And I don't know when I'm going to be outdoors and need a blanket, but when I do, I'll think about you.
thank you.
I got a cozy blanket from you too,
Yeah.
and for some reason like childish games, but
Okay,
I gave those to your nephews.
what was that like poop game or
it wasn't
the
a poop game.
the-
it was
the
such a good game.
potty
like-
training game or something?
It was like a beer pong thing that you play in the toilet,
While you're sitting on the toilet, you hang it on the door, and you can throw pong balls
and then like
in
a
it.
and then like a 1 foot
Oh.
like mini
Right.
air hockey desk
Actually,
table thing.
that is pretty hype. I
That's
didn't know.
what I'm
I thought it
saying.
was like some stupid like poop like game. I didn't understand.
She goes, oh, boys like this stuff, right? I'm like, what are you, 5?
Listen, the
I would play
idea
that.
behind it was there's literally 5 of us girls, and
That's like me just getting you glitter.
39 and a half boys. So
Well, she would like it.
Frost,
actually.
you did the same thing. You brought a cozy sweater with the idea of giving it to one of the girls.
No, I didn't. It was supposed to be unisex.
It was supposed to be
It just
unisex.
seemed like it was smaller than.
I'm
that
gonna
normal
call
size.
you out on your bluff because you were like, "Oh, I got this," and I was like, "Oh,
I got
so-
it for you originally, but it's still unisex.
Okay, but you were like,
It
"Oh,
didn't-
like there's other girls here." That's what you said. You never said, "Oh, it could be for one of the guys." So
Honestly, it
we're
did
on
not.
we're on the same.
It
We're
did
on the
not,
same.
But
It
it
did not
ended
look
up being
unisex.
smaller, so that's why I was like, all right.
What if
whatever.
I won that? I wouldn't be able to fit in that.
You would need.
And it would look so
Sha-AMEER
bad.
would have traded with you.
Oh
well,
my
so
gosh.
when I saw it originally, it seemed like it was like a stretch. You know, like the stretchy material that like it fits to your body or whatever. That's what I thought it was, and it seemed like it was still that.
It still does seem like
but
that. It's just it's short.
Short.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But
Okay.
Sha-AMEER got glasses, and he
Wine
would have
glass.
traded
And
anything.
He
for
was
the
number one
glasses.
too,
well,
right?
well, not just like glasses, like
Wine
Wine
glass.
glasses.
And it was funny because he was number one, so he had all the things to pick from, and he picked that, and no one traded with him, right?
Yeah.
And he was literally every single gift. He was like, "You can steal it
He
from
was
me."
like, "Yeah, take it, just
Well,
take it."
I thought that there was something like
it was.
somebody used
it
a
was
box.
it was a re-gifted gift.
It was definitely a
Okay,
re-gifted
gotcha.
gift.
And the coasters, right?
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this: we're on our 97th episode. It's the end of the
Woohoo.
year. What's kind of going through your mind as far as wrapping up this year? Like, what's going on in the world or in your minds that you're just like, man, like this is how the year's ending? Anything
Okay.
in particular?
I know this sounds really dumb, but like it's like 2020 next year, right?
Mm-hmm.
But in 2030, I'm gonna be 35. That's
That does not-
wild.
2030 does not seem like it's that far away when
But
2020 hits.
But that's 10 years from next year.
And I feel like
And it's just
we're not going to be.
that's a decade. That's not even that long.
Yeah.
Well, we've already lived through we've been a part of 3
Different decades.
decades
Yeah.
in like being born in the 90s, experiencing the 2000s, and then the 2010s. Here we are at 2020.
That's
so,
crazy.
Like
And
I
2
lived-
centuries. We've been a part of 2 centuries.
2 centuries. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Like I wanted to cry when I had that realization.
Really?
I mean, I want to cry every day anyway, but
Oh.
like still, like that was the reason to cry that day.
What about you,
Oh,
Ahmed?
okay. I think for me it was just like, honestly, there's a lot of stuff going on in the world, and it's like, before, like when we were younger, we don't really like either see the news or stuff like that, but like because of social media and everything else, we see so much more, and it's just like I didn't really like you kind of have an idea of like what's going on, but to the extent of what is going on, how like blind people are to it, I think that was like one of the biggest things this year, especially with all the stuff happening. And obviously there was like good stuff happening too, like a lot of our friends got married and stuff like that, so there was a lot of like advice and stuff like that they were giving like us in general, like, hey, like this is how to go about this or this and stuff like that. So that was like also like a very positive side as well to this year.
Yeah. I'm on the boat with you where like it's weird that this year I'm thinking a lot about external things. Like it's just kind of weird, just that continued sort of situation with the Uyghur Muslims and the concentration camps pretty much that they have set up. It's just like such a weird thing going on. And then like the sort of Muslim ban thing that's going on with India, and like how it's going towards like a Hindu nationalist movement, and
Right.
Trump being impeached, like all of that is just like, man, like
just
there's
like-
so much weird stuff going on at the same time right now that like I just hope we sort of center our attention instead of like these things are going on and also like great things are going on, and it's just like coexisting, and we're kind of getting desensitized to the really horrible things
For
because we
sure.
would see
Yeah.
them in our history books and we would learn about it, and I would never think that like, oh yeah, like this could happen again, because it's so easy to say then like, oh yeah, like people would just step in and stop it,
But they don't.
but the
That's thing.
priorities as we go over in time, like our priorities just expand, right? Like that it's at the bottom of the list for so many leaders of different nations and just people in general, celebrities who could have like great influence, all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's just weird that like it's going in a kind of bad direction
I
as
think
far as our
that
focus on
it
things
shows
like
that like us having a voice is very important, and being able to cut off somebody's voice is weird to us. Like, for example, in Kashmir, the fact that we couldn't really understand what was happening there was, internet cut off. And the fact that you can do that today, it's take away somebody's voice and take away what's actually happening on the ground. And the
Right.
fact that even now they're not able to do that. But saying that, I think that when we have a lot of step backs like this, as much as I would pray it away any day, I think that leaves 2020 for a lot of growth. Whenever we have a big, step back, I always pray that we do have a bigger glow up from it. Whenever there's something bad that happens, for example, when Trump got elected, we were all like, this is the worst possible thing that could happen. And I think that as a society, we grew a lot. And while we did get desensitized in many ways, we did, but I also think that maybe it desensitized us to a lot, and we were in a very sensitive time period, and we were starting to get desensitized is not a good thing, but there's also so many things around us. We have to become susceptible to learning about a lot of things and still being okay and still being afloat. So
I think that we all, or at least some of us, feel like I wish there was something that I could do about it. And at our level, having somewhat of an influence on a sort of small population of people, I think that just talking about it and still, even just, the simple act of talking about it, maybe it encourages people to do what they can and what they believe in, whether it be praying or actually doing something about it, sharing things, news articles, talking to their Congress people, the Senate, in whatever ways they can to keep that in the news and be like, hey, this is still happening. Right. And I want to, highlight something that we don't often talk about, but it is our brand, Alif Theory. And I'm really proud and humbled to say that we've been able to do what we can on our part, whether it be with the school shootings that were going on, the kids that were being trapped in cages, the world hunger crisis in different parts of the world. We have been able to play a very small part, but at least a part in that with your guys' help, the listeners, and everybody who supports our videos, our brand, buys merch, and sort of pushes that message out there. We've been able to donate hundreds of dollars, and personally, with your guys' help, I've been able to donate thousands with the sort of work that I was doing with the refugees and things like that. And at least if we can encourage that sort of thing, then it's awesome to sort of continue to talk about it and hear other people that can add to our mission and be like, hey, because there was while we were looking for things to donate to or whatever, there were people that messaged and were like, hey, please check this out, and this is going on, and here's some good resources and links. And being able to do the research. Emma, you actually helped me out a lot too, and in finding the right sort of resources and links. So I'm thankful to have a good group of people around us, our brand, our mission, and that's always kind of in the back of our minds.
Well, shout out to you too for having the artistic abilities and using that for a good cause. Whenever you saw there's a situation happening, you used your emotions and drew a picture and you used it to sell, and you combined it with our brand and you made it a really good, it was a good part of our whole mission, and I appreciate that.
And I think for you guys especially, it's you guys are educated about the fact that this is going on, which is the majority of population.
Well, we try.
They're at least aware, right? But a lot of people don't take the initiative to do something, whether and especially people that are in power, they're educated enough, they know what's going on, but they don't do anything. But it's people like you guys that are okay,
using your skill set. Yeah, to do it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it no matter.
That's what art is, right? Historically, it's always a way to express what is going on in the times. And that's, for me personally, that's always been the most sort of the most passionate work for me, whether it be drawing the Pakistan and India flags together. I just did that overnight because I was feeling a certain way about the hate and just aggression towards the two nations, and I was just you know what, I'm going to draw this, the Bloods and Crips. I remember them tying a flag together to unite against police brutality, and I was that was really powerful, so I'm going to do the same thing with these flags, and it made a huge
reaction. Impact.
Exactly.
It made a huge impact. That resonated with a lot of people.
Yeah, and so that's cool that it was able to express in that way. And on that note, a little plug, if you want to get any of this merch, we always have merch on aliftheory.com/shop. We brought the hoodies back, the Now and Here hoodies, to sort of, always be able to look at your arms and think if there's anything that's going on that is on my mind that I want to be taking head on, anything that I want to pursue in life, the time to do it and where to do it is now and here. And that's what that's about. So cop those on our website. And if you see the shirt that I'm wearing, the Strange Flavors one, we always have Strange Flavors, Ronopono, and Alif Theory merch, and just random artistic drawings that I have that are also on the Redbubble site that you can find on Alif Theory. All the links are included in the description.
I think you guys should do a Christmas one next year.
A Christmas what?
A Christmas Alif Theory collection.
Like a Ronald Pono
Like a
Christmas
Christmas
sweater.
Bro, I'm not trying to get
collection.
canceled by the Muslim.
It would be a Ronald Pono Christmas sweater.
But you
Right.
could take the donations
or
and donate to like
holiday sweater.
donate to like St. Jude's or something like that. Something that like someone, you know, or like the toy
Or
drive, something
Bauer's
like that.
face, like
I
the
mean, yeah.
the
Yeah, we'll
thank you
see.
next one.
We'll see. It would
We'll see.
require
So
the
cute.
proper research and all that. And
The proper reason.
We'll have to do a poll with the
We
Muslim
basically
community.
need to try to be as silly as possible to come up with the
Yeah.
silliest thing for Ronald Pono.
Speaking of other things that we don't really share much is DMs, but this one I had to share because it's just so funny.
Let's talk about this.
So we're gonna leave the name out, but this one just made me laugh. I was like, "What's going on?" Okay, it's this some lady messaged me, and she said, "Happily married cougar mom here, but I gotta say you are gorgeous, mashallah. Hashtag thirst trap." I just thought the combination of happily married and cougar mom.
And
Like, why are you-
and mashallah and thirst trap.
Yeah, like how can you start something with happily married, right? That's like a but.
Wait.
She really had to go out of
Happily
her-
married cougar, so maybe her husband's a lot younger.
Why did she? No, but why did you say?
And then mom, so she's a mom too.
Right.
But
Yeah.
then she also thinks maybe she's
Why
trying
did she
to.
even-
Amber's
wait,
doing
wait,
that
no,
thing.
no,
Amber's
no,
doing
hold
that
on.
thing
Why
where
did
she's like,
why did she even comment that?
No,
That's
no,
like,
no, no,
You
no.
don't have to say. You can just say
So
mashallah.
the
That's it.
name of it is insinuating multiple relationships, like the name of the account. It has something to do with polyamory.
We can't.
oh,
So it's trying
don't
to.
read
it's
the
trying,
name,
I'm
but
not. I'm not.
she
Trying,
might
it's
be
trying,
right.
It's trying to bring you into the squad.
oh
Oh,
my god!
I never noticed
Yeah.
that. That's weird.
So
This just changed everything.
yeah.
I don't think.
All right, I'm gonna message her back.
Happily married. She's trying to bring you in.
Bro.
Dang.
I'm
down
not,
for
I'm,
that?
I'm speaking no further on this. I'm
Frost, you
scared
down
now.
for that?
I'm
Do
not.
it.
I'm absolutely not.
They
down for
take
that.
out there. Maybe. 1 million views on or listens on this podcast, and Frost will DM her back.
Okay, thank you for taking initiative on that.
Of course. Someone had to.
The last thing before we introduce our guest here, I wanted to, because the year is coming to an end, and there's a lot of sad things going on in the world, but I found this list that was like 31 things we totally forgot happened in this decade, and I just want to like read them out and see if you guys remember some of them, like kind of what your thoughts were and all that. And I'll skip some of them because they're boring. Okay, so in April of 2010, the first iPad came out. God bless.
That was in 2010.
That was in 2010, and that was actually
does
my
it-
first iOS device.
Really?
And I would like all my like
An iPod?
Pad.
iPad,
iPad,
yeah.
Pad.
iPods were out before that, like way
You
before
had that? You didn't
Yeah.
have an iPod before that?
He did.
No, I did, but
But it
like,
wasn't like
or,
iOS.
sorry, not iOS. Is
It
that-
wasn't. It wasn't iOS before. It was like whatever. It was just
okay,
like a
whatever
different-
software it
Okay,
was, but
okay.
it was like all my like friends started getting iPhones and stuff, and so I was using the iPad. Like I would have Instagram and like everything like that on the iPad and this big thing.
You guys
and,
still
like,
have
Twitter and all that. Yeah, we still have it.
Yeah.
My mom watches like all her Pakistani
same
dramas
one?
on it.
it. Yeah,
Yep.
that's what I was like. That's crazy.
crazy.
Yeah. September 2010, Lady Gaga wore a meat dress to the VMAs.
Oh, wow.
The what?
Remember she would like wear all those dresses. A
She
meat
was-
dress.
I don't remember.
She's like
but
so normal now. It's weird.
She like would always wear like weird stuff and.
I mean, but it was cool. We'd always be talking
Yeah,
about it.
it was like,
she,
well,
she
that's
was like
crazy,
the
but-
Lizzo back then.
Uh,
Lizzo has a little mini purse that then everybody.
This was kind of cringy. I'm not gonna lie.
I like Lizzo, and she looked like she could fit one chicken nugget in that purse.
Okay.
okay, Amber. Why is it?
March 2011, Rebecca Black releases Friday.
Okay, Sana.
Dang, son.
They're making fun of our friend who looks like her. But yeah, it had like 100 million plus views.
And
Yeah.
years later,
It was
I mean, a
everywhere.
few months ago, she came out with a video talking about how it impacted her life. So that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like left school because of it.
Yeah.
There were 2 royal weddings that happened.
Oh. Do
Yeah.
you guys
Oh,
care
I keep-
that
I
much?
don't. I
yeah.
don't.
My mom
Our
does.
moms care.
My mom
Our
was
moms
like,
care
moms
so
care so
much.
much about
Why did
Princess
they-
They're like,
Diana.
my mom was watching
Diana.
it all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, you have to tune in. But I
It's
get it from their
because-
perspective because
yeah.
it's just like this.
They were in love with Princess Diana.
Yeah.
Why do
Like,
all
it-
Desi moms love
Because
her?
apparently, like something to do with she was gonna marry
A Muslim
Yeah.
guy, yeah,
and,
the Saudi
and,
guy.
and whatever, and they
No,
just
not
like have so
Saudi, I
much
think it was,
love. Baksani.
Pakistani.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
they just like
Oh.
have so much love for her. It's insane.
Well, she was also just like this beautiful sort of person.
yeah.
And, everyone just really liked her, and she was kind of like rebellious.
My mom
towards
does
the
not
kingdom.
pay attention to anything pop culture, but Princess Diana, she knows about. I'm like,
Yeah.
you were living in the band. Like, how did you know?
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, and then like whenever the royal wedding comes, she's like, "Oh my god, like this is amazing. I have to watch it." I'm like,
When I was in,
Did you
like-
even have TV over there?
when I was in the UK, I would like send my family pictures and stuff of like all the things I was doing, and they would be like, "Oh, cool, like have fun, whatever." And then like not really that much of a reaction, but then I went to this fountain that was like dedicated to Princess Diana. And my mom was like messaging me all about it. She's like, "You have to like FaceTime me, like record everything." I'm like, "Mom, what? It's just a fountain." She's like, "No, I want to be there. Like, take me there." I'm like, "Yeah, but all these other pictures." Oh, this one's good.
funny.
May 2011. Everyone was planking.
"Oh, I
Do you
hated
remember?
that."
You did?
I never did it, and I was like, "This." It was
Wait,
funny.
why?
It was funny, but then I was like, I got over it within like a week or two. I was like, "This is really
Planking, I
stupid."
thought was like cool.
Like-
I was like, it was creative. People were doing it all
Oh
types
wait,
of
but they
places.
weren't like holding themselves up. It was just like,
No, you just lay flat.
wait, why
like-
was that so cool to you?
I don't know. It was just like
Someone-
people were doing it in like the 7-Eleven.
It was just like one of the
fridges.
viral things, one of the first
Remember,
viral
like
things.
one of our
maybe?
friends did it
Yeah,
inside of a
yeah.
7-Eleven fridge and like
yeah.
on rooftops, like right at the edge. And
You know, there's electrical
just funny.
boxes that are like outside. I remember someone did it. Our school had one at C Milton, and someone planked on top of the electrical boxes.
oh jeez,
And I
Did
was
they-
like,
were they
I was
okay?
like, yeah, they were fine, but I was like, that is a very
I
risky
approve
thing to do.
planking. Okay. July 2011, we said goodbye to Harry Potter.
Wait, was that like the
Oh,
last
that was that long ago?
video? The last movie?
part 2. Video. How dare you disrespect Harry Potter?
I wasn't that into Harry Potter. I
Yeah.
loved the first movie, and then everything in between, I have no idea what happened. And then the last one, I was like, okay, cool. I like the culture though of like it's not a annoying sort of
Twilight?
thing. I like Twilight.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I like
was
Twilight
okay.
from the
You
beginning.
seem
actually,
like somebody who would be like, Twilight.
no, I really like the wolves in it.
That's
And I was
why.
He
like,
would.
if I could
That's
be,
why he's like, I'm gonna be one of those wolves.
I wanted to be one of the wolves so bad.
See.
But you know what?
Did
like
you want to be Jacob?
no, because his voice is like he's like. It
Beta?
doesn't match.
Wait,
He's like
wait,
Bella.
So
Fall
it's like
in love
beta.
with me. You don't want. What?
And so he has like a beta voice.
Yeah, it's very beta. Although he was like the alpha wolf.
Mhm.
But it was good times. Harry Potter was cool. Linsanity 2012. Remember Linsanity? Jeremy Lin when he took
Oh.
over the Knicks.
Do you watch
And-
basket?
and-
do you know about like Linsanity?
No,
what
you
happened?
guys can have this conversation though.
It was
with
one
each
of the
other.
first times that I saw like an Asian American
like just go
like
off.
just everywhere, and it
like
was Linsanity.
and it was like here and in China, and then it just like blew up. The NBA was pretty big
Yeah.
before, but like
And hearing the
Linsanity
story
was,
about like how he used to sleep on one of his teammates' couches and
Yeah.
like his come up, that was really cool. And Asians are usually known to be like short and like towards math and this and that.
And he went
but
to-
he played at Harvard.
yeah,
he
I was gonna say
tall?
he played at Harvard.
He's
yeah,
tall, yeah.
and
So
they're
that
like
was cool.
notoriously not good for basketball.
Oh man, March 2012, Coney.
Oh my
Remember
god!
Coney?
I remember that for like a
Oh,
day
that
and a
sounds-
Coney
half.
was the guy.
That sounds familiar, but
it was
I
like
don't
a
remember.
campaign that was like, oh,
Save the girls.
Like, it came out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
was-
from an African nation, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be a nonprofit group for the invisible children that started. It like the thing was it
There was
was in
like a
Uganda.
movement.
Oh, okay,
It went viral like overnight.
Yeah.
Everyone was
Yeah.
talking about it and everyone was buying into it. And then we found out
It was
that it was
fake,
like.
right?
Yeah,
or
what
like
It
happened?
something
wasn't,
was.
I don't think it was fake.
something
It was just that like the
shady.
campaign was very shady. They were using
Yeah.
all their like money for like, equipment and like
Equipment?
not
like weapons.
No, like
no,
like
no.
for themselves, for their
Yeah.
own like media company and things like that. And then the guy was caught like masturbating in public. Like random
Oh,
stuff,
I do
like,
remember
Wait,
that.
what?
I I
The
remember
guy was
that.
running
It
it.
was all over the news when he
It was
did
one of
that.
the first things of like fake news before there was like
fake.
before
Yeah.
that was like a
Before Fox
vital
came
thing.
through.
Now we have the Jesse Smollett situation.
We have a lot of situations.
We have a like a.
That's just
they're
the one I
everywhere.
can think of.
You just have to be careful of like what
Yeah.
you consume.
Yeah.
July 2012, Gangnam Style.
Oh, did you ever learn the
Yo,
dance
that was
and
the
everything?
first video that had like 1 billion views on YouTube.
Yeah, I
the
think
very
you're right.
first video to have
think
1
you're
billion
Oh,
views.
I
Yeah,
don't know that.
Yep, you're right.
and
We
that
used to
was
do
like
What happened to him?
South
that
Korean
was
musician
Baby
Psy.
Shark before Baby Shark.
No, it
No,
was
no,
bigger
no,
than
no.
Baby Shark.
No,
it
but I
was
mean
for
for
everybody.
kids. Right.
No, Baby Shark is like for kids and like some adults who want to be cringy. Like
You know,
Like me, like
What was, you know what's crazy? Like we didn't even understand what he was saying.
Exactly.
But like everyone, I think it was a dance. everyone watched the music video.
Open
I don't know.
Gangnam Style.
Yeah, like, I
Everyone
think it
wanted
just
to
sounded cool.
Everyone wanted to do the dance. If it wasn't for the music video, I don't think it would have gotten that popular.
I think it would have
Yeah.
still been a little popular.
Popular, but not as big.
Yeah.
Like not global.
No, but it's cool that it was like,
Was that
this-
considered K-pop? Is that no? Is that
I
different?
think-
No,
I don't know.
I don't think. Oh,
I think
Let me
so.
not speak on
I
this.
don't know, that
about.
sounds
He's
like-
South, he's Korean. He's making pop music. I mean, come
Oh,
on.
he is Korean.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't sure which East Asian country it was.
Okay. December 2012. 2012. Remember?
Oh, remember the movie?
The
You
world
guys
was
remember the
supposed to
movie?
end in 2012.
Yeah, and the,
remember?
Oh,
and the movie came
yeah.
out.
According to the Mayan calendar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So much for that.
Well, it was supposed to end in.
And here we are,
2012.
son. Here we Imagine people that actually died in 2012.
Bruh.
Like, and they thought that
They would never
or
know.
they were supposed to die. They were like, man, they'll never know
Yeah,
unless they're religious.
that's true.
Wait, or not, or not religious.
Or yeah, or
On the
not
other
religious.
side.
Yeah,
right?
it's okay.
Just on the
Right.
other side.
February 2013, the Harlem Shake. That was a good one.
That was
Oh,
a good
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah.
That was fun
a good one.
because everyone was being so
Obama
creative
did it
with
too. Remember?
He did?
Yeah.
Oh.
In
Harlem
the
Shake?
Oval Office.
I don't remember. It was
That would
I
be
remember
epic.
seeing a video of Obama doing the Harlem Shake.
We did it.
Yeah, I know we did.
We did it at a McDonald's drive-through. So we ordered our food normally, right? And then when we pulled up to the drive-through, we were in like costumes and stuff, and we were like, and we had the windows rolled up, and we were just doing the Harlem Shake in the car, and like they were trying to hand us the food,
Oh.
and we weren't listening.
I just realized I was thinking about teaching me how to Dougie, not Harlem Shake. Sorry. Cancel what I said.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
I'm sure he participated in some way because he would do stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was a good one. The Cup song from Pitch Perfect in 2013.
I can do it.
That
No,
like
that
a-
was
What is that?
hype. That
I
was
don't know
hype.
what this is.
It's a dun 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 dun.
I know what it is,
I
but
don't
it
know.
was
Use
like
2 cups, and it was like, I got a ticket for the long.
Road Home.
for me it was over before it even.
No, you're
really
literally
started.
singing the wrong song.
Oh, sorry.
You know the cups?
Oops.
They stack the cups and then they like
Pitch
unstack
Perfect.
them.
Pitch Perfect.
Oh, that thing?
Yeah, I didn't even know it was from Pitch
Oh,
Perfect, but
yeah.
I remember seeing that. And I was like, all right,
Super
I'm already
stacking.
over
It was
this.
like-
Yeah.
And they would time each
Well,
other, right?
he
you
doesn't
guys,
know.
are
He doesn't
mixing
know.
2 things
He
up.
doesn't
But
know.
I
yeah.
don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Actually, wait, it's not cup stacking. No,
not.
it's just done with one cup,
It's just
right?
2 cups.
2
yeah.
cups? Okay.
Or 1 cup.
Also,
I have no
during
idea
that
what
same
you're talking
time,
about.
what does the fox say?
Oh,
I hated that.
Dude, that video was so good.
I
Okay,
thought that they were
okay,
trying
okay,
to
but
be
like-
like the Gangnam Style stuff, which like they succeeded. They got a lot of views.
Okay, but what does the fox say?
It was I
It was
forget.
some like high pitched noise, wasn't it? I don't know. I think it was like it's like some kind of like high pitched noise that they make,
Yeah.
like a squeal or something.
Yeah, they do. They like scream.
Yeah, it's like a squeal.
The
Really
song should have
extreme.
been, what does the zebra say? Because I really don't know.
Probably the same thing as a horse.
Yeah, probably.
They're horses.
No. Zebras are not horses.
They're in that category.
They're in that
probably.
same category.
You're telling me zebras neigh?
Probably.
Bruh.
they're in like the same
Animal expert
family
Emma.
style or family as horses. Like horses, donkeys are all like kind of similar, but like they're closer.
But donkeys don't neigh.
Okay, guys, we
Right,
gotta
but
move
they're-
through
but they're
this.
closer,
We
they're
need to
closer.
discuss. Okay, March 2014, the Malaysian Airlines that disappeared. That was scary.
Did we
Oh,
ever
yeah.
find that?
Dude, they're still
They
investigating.
concluded that it was like that the pilot intentionally crashed it, but I don't know if we.
Intentionally crashed it?
Yeah. So it was weird, but yeah, July and August 2014, the Ice Bucket Challenge.
Okay,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Our guest is here, so I'm just gonna like
Tell him to sit right next to us.
yeah,
Yeah.
you can come and sit right
Come on
here
down.
while we're waiting.
Yeah.
And actually you can put on headphones and everything. We'll add you in. The Ice Bucket Challenge was cool because it was for like a good cause. What was it for again? ALS.
ALS.
Yeah.
Mm.
Did
And
you guys
we
do
used
it?
to put-
Oh, Emma's was
Yeah, I
funny.
d- I
Emma's
did
was
it.
funny.
You
It
guys,
was-
I did it, and then he edited the video.
Yeah.
that
Why
was pretty
didn't he
funny.
editing?
It was like he snapped his
Snap,
fingers and then
yeah.
his clothes came off.
Yeah.
Oh,
And then it was like ice bucket challenge.
Amber's like-
Amber's like, oh,
okay.
The blue
That's
dress,
cool.
what is the blue?
the golden
The
and blue
gold
dress
and
in
white.
2015.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
That was-
What did you
no
see?
one could figure out.
Blue.
I saw blue too.
Everybody saw
and
blue.
black.
Anybody that said gold was
No, a lot of my
trying.
friends said no.
No, Amber, I
Because
don't
the
buy
thing
it.
is, only one time I saw gold and white.
I saw gold.
But you had to try to see it.
No, it was
I never
like it
saw
was a
blue.
flash. It was a flash. That
I never
saw.
saw blue.
You
Oh,
know-
be
you only
honest.
saw gold and white.
I only saw golden.
Wow.
Okay,
That's
20,
weird.
February
I thought
2015.
everyone saw golden.
February 2015, Apple released the racially diverse emojis. Did you guys like that or no?
Yeah.
Oh, we can hold it.
wish-
I didn't
and, like,
really.
I
didn't
wish.
care
Wait,
enough
did you
for
want
it.
them all to be like white?
They were all yellow.
No, they were all
yellow,
golden before or
golden,
whatever,
yellow,
which I was
whatever.
fine. It's just like too much.
I wish that
Like-
once you set your skin tone color, that they would all change
All
that way.
changed it. Oh yeah.
I don't like that I have to go every single time and set my skin
I
tone.
agree with that.
Well, no, sometimes I want to use different skin tones. Like
right,
sometimes
but
I
you
feel
should
like
be able
being
to swipe up and do that at that point,
I feel like being a blonde girl who's doing like the hair thing.
right?
Because I don't want to be like a tan girl doing it. I want to be a blonde girl doing it.
Right.
So I need that at that specific time. But I just think that like
But you can
sometimes,
do that at that point. But when I set one, I want them all to change to that.
yeah, I don't mean to
I
be
agree with-
insensitive,
I
but like
agree
I
with
feel like
Amber.
it's a little too PC where the emojis are going. Like some of them that are coming out,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be a lot of scrolling just to take into account for everybody. Why don't we just get like, for example,
Emoji packs.
like an emoji handicapped version, right? So then all no, I'm being serious. I'm being serious.
There's
No, no,
like,
no.
it's only like 5
Listen,
extra
hear
emojis.
me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Handicap
Hear me out.
version?
Because if it doesn't apply to me, right? Then I have all these extra ones, and the same thing for like people that they're not
but like,
like
what
all
if,
the Muslim
what if
ones
you
that.
know? What if you have
which
like a
there's, like,
friend
none, but-
who is in a wheelchair and you're
I
like,
know, but then like they can get that for themselves.
like download extra packs?
Yeah, that's something that like.
It's not like it's extra
there's
or
a
anything.
New emoji pack.
But
you
like
can
you're
get it if you
saying,
want.
once you set the skin tone, what if like once you set like handicapped version or something like that, then it's like, no, I'm serious.
Like, all
it
of
would
them
be it
change
would be
to
more
that?
convenient towards everybody. Like
Right.
and what if the handicapped people don't want to
Let's
see
not
all
use
the ones?
handicap one. Like use a different
just an
one example. I know. I just think it's an insensitive example.
Okay, for whatever reason, say they had a Jewish, like a bunch of Jewish themes, right?
Right.
And none of them applied to me. Then it's like, well, I respect you, but like this shouldn't be in my pack because I'm never going to use them. But if I want to use them to,
I can get
you
it
know
back.
download
what?
the
I
pack.
kind of
Yeah.
like the idea that every person has a Kaaba in their phone, and every person has a prayer beads.
They'll
and
just be
whatever.
like, "What is a black stone?" Like they
And
don't even know
so-
half of them. They don't even
No,
know.
but
what it is.
they don't
I
get it.
enjoy that it's in their phones and they don't know about it.
Okay, moving on. June 2015, same-sex marriage became legal in the U.S.
Okay.
Okay.
That's all.
I don't know what to
Keep
say
going.
about that.
Good. Love is love.
Yeah, love
Yeah.
is love. Keep going.
Leo won his Oscar in February 2016.
Finally.
Harambe. Remember Harambe,
Oh,
the gorilla
yeah.
that got shot?
Okay,
Yeah.
why was he
It's
like
not
more
funny,
of a
but
joke
like he became a
than-
meme. It's so sad. He became a meme, and like everybody would just center around like, any event that's going on in the world, they'd be like, "But Harambe." Man, we're cruel people. Pokemon Go, July 2016.
Okay,
that
Okay,
was
that
that
was cool.
summer.
that was fun, dude.
That
It
summer
was.
was crazy.
I
Every
didn't actually.
night.
I've never been into Pokemon, and I loved
Ross
it.
loved it. He
Yeah.
was like, "We got to go to Havre de Grace. We got to go here."
Like we ditched our cars. We were like, "Let's go
Go.
on an adventure."
Yeah, we're like, it's so close. We got to get out of the car. We like run to it.
It was so fun. Vine shut down in October 2016.
Aw, wait, why didn't it say when it popped up? We're just talking about when it died.
Was it before? It was in this decade.
It was in this decade.
It was, dude.
Like
Vine?
before
Before 2010?
Yeah, yeah.
Instagram wasn't even a thing before
Oh.
2010.
I think it might have been.
No, 2010.
Maybe
is when
2010 is
Instagram popped up.
the year it came
maybe.
out.
But yeah, Vine. But then but now TikTok is like doing really
It's
great.
crazy. Yeah, TikTok.
Vine
not the
walked
same
so
company,
TikTok could
but-
run.
Nice.
They know how to market it. That's why.
The Women's March and all the marches that happened in 2017, of course, with the president, like that kind of changed
The political
everybody's
craziness.
perspective
Yeah.
on a lot
Yeah.
of things. I think it was like overall, it was good to experience
For
this.
sure.
Like I don't know what direction we would have headed otherwise,
I'm
but like
glad
it's
I
good
lived
to
in
see
it as an adult.
a lot of truth came out of these times. So
For
like,
sure.
that was cool. Fidget spinners in 2017.
But the memes.
I
Those
never
took
had
over.
those. I hate those. They were cool, and then I was like, all right, everyone needs to stop. Everyone
cool.
had them in their cars, everywhere. People would just be swirling
No,
them.
wasn't it
Like, what are
sad
you
because
doing?
like the lady who actually had a patent on it, it like expired and she couldn't like pay for it, and then
Oh, I
right
didn't
as soon
know
as
this.
right as soon as the patent expired, or she couldn't pay for it, it was like $265. Like all these companies just took over and just started selling them like dumb cheap,
Oh.
That's
And-
sad.
I did
That's
and
not
she
know
didn't
that.
make any money off of it.
I did not know that.
the total solar eclipse that happened in August 2017.
Oh yeah.
So Emma was outside with a cardboard box thing.
So I saw like a
right.
thing
To
you could
try to
see
see
the
it.
reflection if you didn't have the glasses, and I was trying to do it.
Oh,
and
you
then
did
my
do it in your
mom,
back front
and
camera
then my
too.
mom came out and started yelling at me. She's like, "You're gonna go blind," and blah blah. I'm like, I was trying to explain to her what it was, and I was just getting yelled at. And he was right outside, just
That was
watching me
hilarious.
get yelled at.
I was just looking at the sun. I'm like, when is this supposed to happen?
Did
But
it happen in front of you?
No, I missed the whole thing.
Oh.
You had to be at a certain like location to be able
Shamir
to see
like
it.
drove 10
Everyone had-
hours to go
everyone
see
had-
it.
Yeah.
It's North Carolina, I think.
Yeah,
Or-
with his dad.
You have to
Yeah.
go like south. That's where it's like the most.
Yeah.
Visible.
Hmm.
October 2017, the Me Too movement and all of
Right.
you know, that sort of stuff going on with so many people, celebrities especially, coming out of women exposing you know, the things that they've done, and that was really eye-opening
And intense.
So, and there was some like kind of bad things that happened with that too, like, you know,
With every good, there's bad.
yeah, which it is what it is,
Right.
but we're figuring it out, I think. What else we got? Fake missile warnings in Hawaii, another royal wedding, the Banksy painting that self-destructed. Did you guys hear about that?
The what?
It's like a $1.4 million painting that, like, once it was sold,
It was shredded.
It's shredded.
Right? Yeah, that was cool.
That is so fire.
The artist actually put the shredder at the bottom. So as soon as it sold, the thing just started going, and it was like just getting shredded. And the people were actually laughing. They were like laughing. No one was like
Wait, what
mad.
about the person who bought it?
They weren't mad. They were like, "This is like amazing," but it didn't shred all the way.
it got
did
put back in the
halfway.
it got
was,
put
like,
back in the
halfway.
museum,
Yeah.
and it's retitled to "Love Is in the Bin." Yeah, it's fun.
It's fun.
It is. Is it not fun? And then January 2019, starting this year off with the most diverse class of lawmakers in history sworn into Congress. We had LGBTQ representatives, Muslim women, Native American women, and a lot of women in general, which was really cool to see.
Okay, girls.
Like that sort of
This
diverse
past decade, I see you.
panel. Like that's really cool. So I wanted to sort of go over this and a photo of the black hole. But I
Oh
never-
yeah, that was cool.
Wait, what?
There was a photo of the black hole in April.
Okay.
Just follow
was-
Emma's page
it
and you'll
just
see
didn't-
anything animal related and space
It
related. because he
didn't look
loves-
as cool, but it was just cool that they could actually like, photograph a black hole. Because
Okay.
otherwise, like light, this is like it's really hard to do it because light, like once light goes in there, it doesn't come back. So there's no way you can like.
Does it keep like going?
It just
Like,
they don't
keeps
know what
getting-
the end of a black hole is. So once
no,
it goes,
but
in,
like,
what do you
what
mean?
about like does it?
Amber,
keep...
we don't have time to explain
Alright,
space
sorry.
too. Okay?
I'll explain this after the podcast.
Okay.
But yeah, I wanted to go over this list because I think that it's easy to sort of get caught up in, like, when we started off, remember how I asked you guys, and even myself, we were kind of thinking about like, man, like this year's ending on like this note. I think that going over things like this sort of shows you that like everything is so temporary, especially when we think that, you know, oh my God, this is a thing now, it's gonna last forever, and like now we're like, oh yeah, like that happened, and just to like take everything with kind of a grain of salt and always be optimistic. I mean, not always be optimistic, but like just have hope. And I think that when we have hope, we sort of rub that off on other people, and we encourage them to be happier and live better lives. And you know, although these things are going on, we can enjoy the moment for what it is. We can talk about these things as we do on this podcast and the reality of our emotions and things like that. And by the way, podcasting became a huge thing over this decade.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
After a long time, although it was already invented.
Yeah, my brother used to listen to podcasts like back in the day on his little scrolly.
Shout out to you for introducing me to Serial the podcast,
Oh,
which got
yeah.
me into this, which made me want to do a podcast. It's a lot of feelings and stuff
journey.
like that, but you know, I hope that everyone
We
can
gained
also
our friendship in this past decade. Well, not you two, but like the podcast co-hosts. Hello. Hey.
there was a lot of cringing in this
Yeah, I
decade
agree.
as well.
I agree.
Okay, cool.
Cringing
to
was a
Amber.
trend,
All right.
especially.
But yeah, I
this
just want to
year.
say, like, I encourage everyone to sort of like journal back and look through your photos, through the things that you've done and accomplished, and the hardships that you've gone through and made it here to 2020. Like, it's crazy to say that, but yeah, I hope that you do well.
I
That's the
hope
best
you guys do well too.
Okay, on to our stranger who has been kindly waiting here today. He is someone whose mind works uniquely from most people that I've met. He may remind you guys, you haven't met him yet, but a little bit of Mr. Rogers in like his soft tone and
Okay.
his optimism, which is perfect for this podcast. And most importantly, why I wanted him here today is because he has journeyed to Japan kind of out of nowhere, and I want to talk about what that experience has been like, and talk about, you know, why he decided to do that and what he's all about. So without further ado, please welcome our guest, Phil ROSZAK. I mean, you've dealt with mics in your time.
Yeah,
So-
I've done a little technical work.
You're used to this.
Yeah.
How did you feel coming into our sort of conversation? You heard a little bit about like the past decade and what's been going on in this last year, but what's it been like for you, like, you know, this past decade of experiencing the stuff that we were talking about?
Yeah, well, the thing that really stood out for me was the black and gold or blue and whatever dress actually. Because I was thinking about that like a year ago, and I was like, oh, I want to see the picture again, and I looked it up, and it was a totally different color.
What color
Really?
was it before, and what color was it this time?
So I used to see black and gold, and when I looked at it earlier this year,
No way.
So that wasn't
saw
a combo.
blue.
You mean
That's what I was saying. I've
White-
never seen
white
the
and
other
gold?
color. I've never once seen the other color. So
Yeah.
I thought people were like kidding. I thought this was a joke.
yeah, I truly
Yeah.
didn't get it when it happened, 15, 25 years ago?
Yeah. Well,
and the
within
lady
last
Feels
came
like
out
it,
and
but
said that
yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a black and blue dress, but
she came on
Yeah.
Ellen.
oh right.
Yeah, she
But-
wore
but
the
why-
dress on Ellen.
Why are we seeing
Ellen
gold?
DeGeneres is a huge thing in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
happened
yeah.
a little
there?
bit before that too.
Yeah.
But she really came in the past like decade, I'd say.
Yeah.
Maybe like
Yeah.
right
Okay.
around then. Especially because like Oprah also like went away.
I would say
and then
she
like,
started. Yeah, that's true.
I think that would like really helped.
Ellen was a game changer.
Yeah.
For a lot of
Frost
things, but
loves
that's
Ellen.
good. I love her as a person. I don't like her show anymore because
Sure.
it's just like it's hard to watch now.
Okay.
It's just like very.
I think she's bored of her own show too, because I was watching her interview with Kim Kardashian the other day, and she just was like, "So what's happening here? That's cool. All right." And then she just seems like she talks about the Kardashians like a lot.
Yeah, well, she's very like in the famous rich old person sort of mode now, and so
Yeah.
it is what it is. But Phil, thanks for being here.
Oh yeah, totally. I'm excited to do it.
When are you leaving and going back to Japan?
Yeah, so I leave on Monday morning.
Do you live there?
Wait,
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
What do you do, Phil? Like, I was gonna ask, but
Yeah,
now
we'll
that-
get into
Oh,
it.
okay,
We'll get
okay.
into it. I was
Oh,
just
my
asking
bad.
like where he is. But yeah, why don't you explain first of all why you decided to go to Japan? You went like a few years ago?
Yeah, it's almost 3 years ago now.
Uh-huh.
The first time I went was 3.5 years ago in 2016. And I was kind of bored in the job that I had here in the U.S. and wanted to do
What was
something
it?
different. I was working a couple different jobs, but
Okay.
mostly I was part-time at Hartford Community College.
Okay. gotcha.
So that was nice, but, I'd finished university at Towson, and
Is that where you and Frost met?
yeah, I
Okay.
think so.
I was like I was the art director for the magazine while Phil was like a technical advisor
Yeah.
Okay.
for that whole thing. And
Okay.
we were just talking. We met up a few days ago actually, and we were talking about that time, and it was like it was a good time.
Yeah, it was a very...
I don't know how it was for you, but
Yeah.
Clearly he was bored. No, I'm just
he
kidding.
did not like. Yeah, he was like, yeah.
He's like, let me
well,
leave
no,
this whole
he had
country.
seen like this cycle of like people going in and out and stuff like that.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha.
So, but I mean like, I think during the fun times we had a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah, totally. No,
We went to Philly together.
And oh yeah, I was thinking about that on Halloween this year.
That was fun. We went to this
Yeah.
one of the greatest haunted houses that I've been to.
Yeah,
In Philly?
Eastern State Penitentiary. It's an
Oh,
old-
I've heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, really great. They do like amazing costumes and all kind of set design and stuff. And
Okay.
it's a
Can they
really
like
good haunted
they can
house.
touch you and like?
Oh, they
do all
touched me.
that
They
stuff?
grabbed.
They took
They actually
FARAS.
they took me while we were waiting in line. I didn't even know that it started yet, but
What?
this little girl took me while we were waiting in line. She said, "Come with me," and then
And
she
you
took me
went?
inside this like yeah.
She dragged
Oh my
you into
God.
like a hole in the wall, right?
What? Did you have
And
to
then-
like find him and stuff?
No,
No, we didn't know he was
You got him
gone.
back at
so,
the
so
end?
we
Oh.
met up like in the middle of the actual like you like crawl through random things and like one of our friends like Matt Tennyson, he was like in a jail cell and then
Yeah.
he was like how'd you get in there? He's like, I don't know. And we were all kind of crawling in different places and we met up at some point inside.
Were you
Oh,
scared
wow.
when you went with the little girl? Like, did they scare you while you were in there? Were you just,
Dude, I would have.
I was excited, 'cause I
or
was
were you
like,
just
this
being
is-
held there?
I just didn't know what was gonna happen.
Oh my god, I'm getting
I was like,
scared.
I was like,
so
my friends
scary.
are.
about this.
Is it cool if I like go with my friends in line? She just like, be quiet. I'm like, yes, little girl, I'll do what you say. But anyways, yeah, like that's what we were. He was advising us in a technical aspect.
Yeah.
So I'd be
Okay.
like, Phil, we're doing video now. I want to get really fancy cameras, and he's like, yes.
Yes,
do
we
that.
should do that. Yeah.
And he literally like got us some really nice equipment, and we were able to like, play around with stuff that like people on the news and sometimes in movies were like using.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
that we didn't
crazy.
have at home.
Were you saying that like you needed them or something for the?
Yeah, I was really pushing for like we need to do something that's going to be actually relevant for students when they go into the job market.
Okay. Wow.
And I felt like video was that direction. Because whether you're working online or in TV or even for a newspaper, you're probably going to have to do video or something.
Right. Okay. Gotcha.
yeah.
Gotcha.
And during the time, like you were doing a few different jobs that were like, I guess on the technical field of things. You
Yeah,
had
yeah.
this like museum thing that you were doing, right? You
A
were like,
museum.
remember you worked at
No,
like
I
You worked at a museum?
no.
Oh.
I applied for an internship with a museum. Did not get it.
okay. I
Yeah.
remember you doing
Dang.
something where you were like, I don't know, something with artifacts. I forget what it was, but you did a lot of.
Artifacts.
Like archaeology? Or
Was it in Haverty Grace? maybe?
Archaeology.
That's pretty
This
cool.
is ringing no bells at all.
Are you mixing people up? Or...
No, this is.
I've had a lot of
Phil,
jobs,
he's,
but
he's
I
worked
don't
a lot of
remember
weird
this
jobs.
one.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you how weird Phil is. Like we would be like
like
doing our yeah. I mean everybody that comes on the show is
It's
weird and
weird in some
interesting in
way.
some way. But that was one of the things that you brought up about like, you know, the crew of the magazine, which was like all unique, weird,
Yeah,
sort
yeah.
of out of the box people.
Yeah, a bunch of very creative people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He calls it creative.
Creative. Oh,
I just
yeah,
cut
I
to
was
the
gonna
chase and
ask.
say weird.
I mean, you know, same difference.
So he would read you know, like instruction manuals and stuff.
Okay. Casual.
Like for fun, you know, like you get
Not-
an IKEA assembly
Right.
thing. And
Was it
whatever.
like
Okay, well, see, IKEA ones don't have any words.
Yeah,
so
okay, so
that's a
my
quick
bad.
read. That's
like
He would know because he tried reading.
you know,
it.
like the
Yeah.
terms and conditions and like random stuff
Do
like
you
that.
like reading the terms and
was
conditions?
it interesting?
you might find something interesting sometimes.
What kind of learner are you?
What?
Ooh, good question. I don't know. I guess I'm a little bit of receptive.
Okay.
I like listening to stuff and taking notes and then trying it.
Okay.
So
Okay,
active.
Gotcha.
But explain the
receptive.
instruction manual thing.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can. I can give an example. How about
Okay.
that?
Okay.
So, getting ready to talk about Japan. On the way to the airport to come back here, I passed a bunch of signs in Fukushima Prefecture, which is where the nuclear accident was in 2001.
Okay.
And they have all these signs along the highway that like read the radiation in the air. To
like live count.
yeah, to
Okay.
encourage people to understand that like it's safe, it's fine to be here.
Okay.
Okay, gotcha.
Look how low the levels are. But I was like, okay, well, actually, how is that measured? Like, what is this measurement? It was in millisieverts or something. So yeah, last night I was reading about how is that measured? How is that dosed?
Well, that
and
makes
stuff.
sense.
Yeah.
That's
No,
something I
but
would
not
do too.
everybody would be like, they would be like, oh, low amount, we're good. But he was like, let me figure out how it works.
How
And
is
let
this
me-
measured? Things
That's
like
why I
What
asked
is-
what
what is a
kind of
low
learner
amount?
you are.
Yeah.
Some people just
Okay.
really like
That's
to
what I'm
go
saying.
into
That's
the
like-
nitty gritty.
That's
Yeah.
how Phil seems like. It seems like that's how Phil seems to think. Like you also like built your own computer and stuff. So like you like
Oh,
things
yeah,
from the
yeah.
inside
did?
out, right?
Yeah.
You built a PC?
I did,
Me
yeah.
and my brother are actually doing that right now.
Oh, dude, you
So
gotta
we're waiting
use.
for the case coming. He like wanted to do it to like play video games, but I was like, this is a cool way to like actually get him to like do hands-on stuff.
Yeah.
So
I don't even really like games that much.
Mhm.
I just enjoyed the process of putting it
but,
together. And
yeah, it's
of course,
cool.
I play
like,
a lot of games
knowing
now,
that
but-
like you can buy all the parts and do it yourself. You don't have to
Okay,
go out
Steve
and like buy one.
Jobs. Okay, Elon Musk.
Amber, I feel like for them that's like a common thing.
Right.
Like if you like doing that, but like just like someone built a computer
really like
is
Phil.
not Steve Jobs.
Obviously.
There's a lot of people that like there's a lot of people that do this, right?
Right, it is.
Yeah.
My brother
Yeah.
built it too, but I'm just
Okay.
hyping the man up. He's our guest. Let me hype this man
True.
up.
Thank
true.
you.
But
Good
you,
host.
But you didn't go to an engineering sort of field.
Yeah.
No. Because I wanted to do communication because you can flip that into whatever. So if
Wait,
I
you're
want to
not
learn
like
about,
an engineer?
Yeah, I
Stop.
would think
No.
from
No,
all
you
this.
It's like a
should
hobby,
know.
right?
I would
Yeah,
think.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Huh.
So like you do the research first and like you try to do whatever you can with it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
gotcha.
And sometimes it doesn't pan out. I was interested in getting my amateur radio license,
Mhm.
and so I got the handbook to like read about it and was like, nah, I don't want to do this. This is boring.
Okay, gotcha.
But you probably enjoyed just reading it.
Yeah, I learned a couple interesting things. So you know,
So you did a few weird jobs, technical jobs, things like that, and then
What
Japan.
made you peace out?
just doing something new. I was always kind of bored with Maryland. It's my home state. I'm from Hartford County.
I hate Maryland. Let me just leave the whole country.
It-
Forget the other 49 states.
I mean, they're probably
Why
kind of
Japan?
nice.
Like, why did you pick Japan out of all the countries you could have picked?
It's a very good question. So, my friend was going already, and she wanted somebody to go with her. So I went.
Like on vacation?
Kind of like a work study sort of thing.
Okay.
Okay.
She was there for a couple of months, and we did like part-time English teaching.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So not.
But you knew how to speak Japanese?
No.
So how'd
not
you
at
teach
all.
English?
Everybody asks. You don't really need to be able to speak Japanese because you want them to speak English, your students.
But how do you be like, okay, like cat and this?
You can use
is
like visual
cat
cues, right?
in English.
Yeah.
You can use visual cues, and then
Okay.
I'm sure they have like some kind of like, a lot of them are like kind of broken English. You would
Yeah,
say, right?
yeah,
And
so-
you just try to perfect it.
Exactly. Most native speakers,
No, some.
know a little Japanese, but they
Like up to high school level or college level, like students. Like would a high school student know a little bit of English?
They should.
Or-
They
okay.
study in the Japanese school system. They have to study English in school.
Oh.
I mean, they do that.
Oh,
in
they
most
do that in
countries.
Pakistan, too,
Yeah,
in
I
India, I
think
think.
most
I
of-
spoke English in school.
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
were
They
in
teach like British English though, right?
No, American English.
American?
Really?
Okay.
And
Interesting.
yeah, the difference between like UK English or American English or Australian English, a lot of Japanese learners really want to know those differences.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
We learned British English.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I. That's
But
why
I think
thought
also
that.
Because they were
we
also,
had
like,
British
colonies.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah.
We're
Right,
British
that makes
colony.
sense.
Yeah.
So you were supposed to stay there for just teaching this thing and for a little while, and then
Yeah, so I was there for like 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I lived in like central Japan near Kyoto or Osaka, kind of.
so for like we don't understand geography of
okay.
Japan, so like
Or
I think
like
all
north,
we
south.
really see or know about is Tokyo.
Tokyo, yeah.
Yeah.
So is
yeah.
it like north, south of it?
Were you in a
So,
city?
Yeah, I was in kind of a big city.
Okay.
A little bigger than Bel Air, Hartford County.
Wait.
Wait, just a little bigger than Bel Air.
Hold on.
Yeah,
hold
Bel
on.
Air is
Wait,
small.
what? Yeah.
Right. So
Do you
I
mean,
was
like-
thinking
do
like
you
if
mean,
it's
like-
not New York City, it's like
Compared to Baltimore City, like
Baltimore
how big?
City,
Smaller.
Philly.
Much smaller.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
okay.
was in Matsusaka-Mie. So Matsusaka is a small town along a bay. There's a huge city at the top of the bay called Nagoya.
Okay.
Nagoya is where a lot of Toyotas are made. So it's like a
Oh,
big
okay.
Oh.
industrial center and that kind of thing.
Cool.
But I lived like an hour away from there. So in the suburbs.
are Toyotas cheap
kinda.
there?
Yeah. We can get
Is
into
that like
cars.
the most
Yeah.
common like driven car there, right?
I don't know by the numbers, but I do see a lot of Toyotas. You see a
They
lot
have
of
a whole-
Nissans.
They have a whole city there, right? Toyota City.
Yeah, Toyota is
No
a city.
way.
Yeah, it's like a whole city of just Toyota.
Yeah.
Bruh.
And like everyone that works
It's like
there.
it's like a Disney World for Toyota, or it's like
But
this-
like they have their manufacturing plants there, and like people
That's
who
like if
work
Tesla did
nearby, they
that
have like
here.
buildings for them,
Yeah.
or like apartments and
Did
housing.
you take Emma with you to Japan, or
Dude,
Oh,
I love Japan.
We met
That's why
there
I was
before,
like-
yeah.
that's cool. So yeah. So then what made you stick around after the 3 months?
Yeah, so it was exciting. It was something different to do, and it was something I didn't think I'd be able to do, but after trying it was like, I can hack it. I can figure this out. And you asked like, why didn't I move to one of the other, 49 states in the US? Well, it costs money to move anywhere more than like a state away. So it was like, well, I can spend that money to move to New York, California, or I can move all the way to Japan. And that seems much more exciting.
And how did that translate for you, like as far as, I mean, starting with like the financial thing, like was it doable?
Yeah. So the first company I moved with, they were very generous with new employees insofar as like getting them settled there.
Okay.
So
So you had some help as far as like living somewhere and all that kind of...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm they had furnished apartments for their employees, so that was really convenient. Didn't have to do any like finding an apartment, getting a lease signed and stuff. So that really made the transition into moving in another country really convenient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think most people, yeah, Emma's just going to turn on his lights at random points. I
That's
think
an awesome sweater. That's great.
Most people would be, when it comes to like visiting other countries, I think they tend towards going towards like the safer countries, like, London. Okay, everyone at least speaks English there, and like it could be similar to our values, things like that.
Yeah.
Anywhere in Asia seems like it could be extremely overwhelming, especially for someone who is American, right? Like American born and
Yeah.
raised. Are you okay?
Are you okay? What's going on? What did I do?
Emma looked over at me and was like, "Your nose is whistling," but really it was the birds chirping upstairs.
Oh, I thought like she was breathing really heavy into the mic, and I was like, "It's
And
kind of
he
annoying."
was like, he's like pointing to his nose. He was like, "Your nose is going up."
Okay, she would know if it's her nose. She has breathing problems and now
Right.
back problems. Let her live.
Right.
It's a hard life.
Sorry.
It's a hard life.
But
yeah.
really, it was the birds.
Oh,
Nice.
gotcha.
Birds are nice.
So yeah, the cultural thing, like, you know,
Yeah, it's
being American born and raised, going to Japan, it wasn't overwhelming for you?
no, not necessarily.
Do you stick out?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Is it true that like
Um,
they'll take pictures and stuff of people
Yeah.
that aren't Japanese?
No.
Or is that just
China does it, but that's like African American. Like they don't ever see them. They're like taking pictures with them, and they're like
like they
crazy.
exist?
Yeah.
That's like Desi people too, though. Like in Pakistan, if they see a black person, they can
Oh
be
yeah,
like,
or a white person. They're like, what's going on here?
no, we're white people.
That's-
They're fairly used
That's
to.
weird.
Now before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like Japanese women?
Yeah. Like how's the?
Yeah, I actually didn't particularly have a preference when I moved there, but I'm dating a Japanese girl now. So,
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was like the whole like anime and all that scene, is that as big as it seems? Like I think it's like huge in Japan, but I'm
Yeah.
not sure like in the cities and stuff like that. Is that like how's that culture?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely large.
Okay.
There is a ton of people who have zero interest in it, though.
Okay.
I would say
Interesting.
it's like here. People are really into anime and they know a lot about it, or they have no idea and they're like, I don't know what that character is or what I'm looking at here.
Okay,
But
is
it's used in advertising a lot there. So
That's
you
what I was
see
gonna
it
ask, like,
all the time.
Is it more like, because here you don't see that much like advertising stuff like that. It's like you have to go to certain events to like really be able to like express your interest, or like is it more open there? That's what I'm asking, like.
I guess. I mean, it's hard to describe Japan as an open country.
Okay.
It is
Why?
a pretty.
Like, what do you mean?
People are pretty reserved and pretty.
Okay. Like traditional? Or?
Yeah, a little
Okay.
bit. It's traditional, but also very modern. To get back to the anime, like, in my old job, we used to drink these energy drinks, and the drink company was doing a promotion with some anime video game or something. So all of the bottles had these big, huge, like ripped anime characters on them.
Oh, okay.
So me and my coworkers were like, well, we got to get our energy drink. It's like, you know, we have a hard day at work today. Which huge ripped anime guy are you going to pick?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's pretty funny.
Because none of us knew who these characters were or what this series was, but it was like, okay, it's on our drinks now.
Were you into anime before you went to Japan, or even now?
A little bit. I mean, I don't know. When I was in like middle school, I kind of liked Gundam. Kind of
Okay, I
liked
thought you
some
would
of
say
the
Dragon
other...
Ball Z. I was like, that doesn't
Yeah.
count.
Yeah, no, Dragon Ball is still popular with kids. Like,
Okay.
I've had to learn a lot about Dragon Ball because I work with kids.
Oh, the Japanese kids?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, they all know Frieza, Goku, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Like, yeah.
What
I
are
don't-
some of the most significant things that you noticed as far as culture and like cultural awareness when you went there?
People are really considerate of others. There's a huge amount of effort that goes into like thinking about what other people want or like how to not inconvenience other people.
Like what?
What do you mean?
For example, I was with my girlfriend and she was supposed to get a delivery from like a UPS type company. They do time delivery, so you can call them and say, "Hey, I'll be home at 6:00," and they'll deliver between 6 and 7 or whatever.
Oh, wow.
And we were out somewhere and she was like, "We have to get back. I don't want to be late." And it's like, yeah, I feel like in the US you'd be like, we can get back at 6:15 and it'll probably be fine. But she was really like, no, we need to be back at like 5:55 because I don't want to delay the delivery guy.
So,
Oh.
So
when
it's
they
just
deliver,
like, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, people are just like really considerate of like, I've asked this person to do something or, I don't want to inconvenience them anymore.
So you have to like, they wait for you at the door until you like sign for the package every time, or?
They arrive somewhere between that time, but if they show up and you're not there, then you have to like reschedule it and stuff. So it's
okay.
inconvenient for them because they've gone out of their way to like come to your house and be like, hey, you're not here.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
What other things, as far as like what you've noticed culturally, the way that
Or
maybe
different
people
from American culture, Western culture?
Like maybe some traditions that you saw there that are not really prevalent here.
I don't know. I mean, it is just entirely different. Like it's
Okay.
it's
Not
hard
really
to pick out
comparable.
like one thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
I heard
Yeah.
during Christmas it's like tradition to get KFC. Is that true?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like
What?
there's,
Wait,
long-
what?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like I heard there's like a Japanese like everyone does
What's
it.
that about?
Yeah. Why is
Yeah.
it? Do you know why that?
So it started with international people living in Japan. They wanted to have like, you know, a more Western style Christmas dinner with a turkey or chicken or something.
So
and
they went to KFC to
yeah,
get chicken.
because Japanese kitchens usually don't have ovens, so you can't like roast a chicken most of the time.
Oh.
They're getting more common, I think, but they're definitely not typical in a
No,
Japanese
KFC
home.
is fried chicken.
Well, you got to make do with what you can get.
Right.
True.
Yeah.
So, what did you start doing after the 3 months? Did you come back, or
Yeah,
to
so
the U.S. and then you went back?
yeah, that was in like the spring of 2016. So I came back to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
and I was here for the whole 2016 election, which was wonderful.
Then you were like, oh, I
He's
really
like, I need to
need to
go
get
back
out
to
of here.
Japan.
I was like, all right, this is
You
fun
actually
anymore.
pulled what some people were saying. It's like, I'm going to leave the country.
Yeah, I
You
inadvertently
literally-
did that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I applied for a job with a like a pretty big company in Japan that does English education, and that was the job that had the like furnished apartment and stuff. So it was really convenient to move there. I went and did the interview with that company in New York, and that was great. Really easy interview process.
Okay.
And then I moved to Japan, and I lived in Morioka City for 2.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Morioka is a city in northern Japan.
Mhm.
So Japan's like this long island, and up near the north, it's pretty cold. You know, in the winter it snows a lot. Down south, it doesn't really get that cold, but Morioka's kind of in the north.
So
of
they say
Japan.
that like Japan is like known for its like technology and stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Is that also prevalent where you live?
yeah, definitely.
And
You
what like what
see-
is like the random like things that require technology that's like not here?
Yeah, so there's a lot more use of smartphones. I feel like they're really
More than here?
More than here?
Like
yes.
why?
Like-
Like
like
to
I
feel like
control
they're
certain things.
Use,
Kind of.
Yeah, like
they're
use
like
as in,
utilized better.
Okay.
So like
Hmm.
if I want to get a package or something, I can order it from Amazon, have it delivered to the convenience store, and then go to the convenience store and they'll scan my phone and say, okay, yeah, we got your package.
Okay.
Which like you can definitely do that here
Do that.
too.
But it's not
There's
as
all kinds
prevalent.
of yeah.
What about like the vending machines and like food?
Oh
food
yeah, I heard
items?
there's
I heard
like
there's
yeah. So
like whole
there's
pizzas
Real-
and vending machines and stuff.
You can find that sometimes.
Okay.
It's not as common as it used to be. Vending machines are one of the things I'm kind of into in Japan.
Okay.
There are some.
it's more than just chips.
Oh, it's actually never chips. It's always
Really?
drinks. Yeah,
Oh.
snacks are very rare to find in vending machines. It's always drinks, like any type of drink you could imagine: tea, juice, soda, anything.
Like hot tea?
Oh yeah.
Hot tea in the vending machine?
Yeah. It's
So
a big
cool.
deal
They
in
have
the
those
winter.
here too, though.
Yeah,
like
but
with
like-
coffee
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
No, but
Yeah.
that's like an espresso machine. Like this is like going to a vending machine and being like dee 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 dee.
And it just
Tea.
like comes
Okay,
out.
Kim
Yeah.
What is
Possible.
this Kim Possible?
That's cool. What else sort of do you notice there as far as technology?
They use a lot of old technology too. Like fax machines are still in use. They're
Fax
not.
machines are good.
Yeah, right.
Bring
I-
back fax
I
machines.
don't-
They're
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, that's okay. I mean, with the email, like, do you really need to fax though?
Well, just to
Yeah.
have the physical document.
You would think.
You could just email and then print it. But I
Well,
guess they
scanning and
already
then-
have a system
yeah,
there, right?
scan and email.
It's probably like more prevalent here. It's like I feel like you just like as soon as email came, everyone just got rid of it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you would have to like log into an email. I don't know.
People still use fax machines. Like,
Well, in businesses.
Yeah.
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 But like personally, they use fax machines too.
No, not for like
That's all
Okay.
business.
interpersonal
Okay.
communication.
Like people
no.
don't have fax machines in their houses still.
They might,
Oh.
but not the people I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of business, I heard they started
Yeah.
like a 4-day work week, and like they're like really.
He's like, ooh, where? Let me know.
Yeah. Can I find that
They
company?
like, tested it in Japan, I think, but also like I heard during the work day, also like you get a lot of time for like lunch and like a long time. People are like
I
very
want to
like.
know Emma's source.
And people are,
What is your source?
I'm
People
glad
are-
we brought Emma on
and
this
then
podcast.
people are like very like even like businesses, right?
Yeah.
People are like very like understanding like, oh, this is like their lunchtime, and they won't like. Is that true?
Not at all. No way.
What?
Japan has terrible labor laws.
Really?
It's terrible. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
well, Tech Insider
wish
lied. I would like to tell my source is Tech Insider. They did a whole thing on it, like a 30-minute video.
He only exposes the source when it's gone
Wrong.
the wrong way.
They might have been doing it as like a trial program because
Okay.
it is so bad in Japan that like people, I can't remember the word, but people literally work until they die, like overwork to the point of death.
What?
There's a word for it in Japanese.
Yeah.
It'd be a
the-
lot more powerful if I remember.
Do you know
the word.
why the labor law is so bad? Like, or,
Because kind of the stuff I brought up before. People are really considerate of others, and they're kind of like, I'm not gonna like
They
leave.
overextend.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Everybody
gotcha.
wants to look like they're doing their best. Nobody wants to be like, oh, they're a slacker. They like didn't finish their work or whatever. And also, companies just ask a lot of their employees.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you
So
learned
the-
like a considerable amount of Japanese now?
No.
Like none?
No, I'm.
Like daily words.
Yeah, I can survive day to day. I can go, go to the convenience store or whatever. Go to a shop. I can even
Do
do
you
like
wanna learn?
city office. Yeah. In fact, moving back here has motivated me to learn Japanese.
That's
even
probably what
more.
everybody's asking you. Like,
Yeah.
oh, Phil,
Yeah.
say something in Japanese.
Can you say something in Japanese?
Right on time. Choto Nihongo hanashimasu.
That means.
I speak a little Japanese.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
You
was
have to
really
know
good.
that one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. I can introduce myself.
Okay.
Say it.
Like, hi, my name
You
is
should have done
Phil.
that at the beginning
Hi.
when you came in.
Oh,
That would have been better, yeah. Watashi wa Philippu Rozaku desu. 29 歳です.
Okay, accent.
that was
Yeah, you said your name differently too. You're like,
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
use they use 3 different writing systems in Japan.
Uh-huh.
There's Chinese characters, which are called kanji, which are stolen from not stolen, borrowed from China. They're many times the exact same character in Chinese and Japanese. It's just pronounced differently, and that's used for things like kind of big like noun words and stuff like oil, water, happy,
okay.
me.
Gotcha.
So that's the Chinese writing system. But then there's also 2 Japanese writing systems that they also use, hiragana and katakana. And katakana is used for words that are borrowed from other languages. So like my name is not Japanese, so it's written in katakana. So you have to pronounce it like katakana.
ah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting.
Japanese stuff is all like one consonant and one syllable together. So yeah.
Like, say, like, give me an example.
So their vowels are a, I, U, E, O.
Uh-huh.
So
There's just an extra one?
a,
No, there's
I,
the- no,
U,
there's the
E,
same
they're
amount.
different.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pronounced a little differently, but they're pretty much the same
Yeah.
vowels.
Yeah.
But then those vowels, you pair each one with a consonant. So you can just have a, I, U, E, O. Or you could have ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, sa, si, sa, shi, su, se, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So, how are they used together?
The different writing systems.
Okay.
They're
So you'd
all,
write it together.
Yeah, so like there's a really good example of like I watch TV. So like TV would be in katakana because it's terebi, TV. I would be in katakana? No, hiragana. I'm so bad at this. Kanji, Japanese characters.
It,
and
it could all be wrong. We wouldn't know.
Yeah. I'll just keep lying.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Your girlfriend's listening.
yeah, she's gonna fact check me on all this.
Let me ask you about so are you like passionate about the whole teaching English thing, or like what is it, or are you more so there because you love the Japanese experience?
Teaching English is actually really rewarding. I thought it would just be kind of like a fill-in job until I found something different, but
Okay.
it's exciting
Do you
because
like
it's
working
like
with kids? Oh,
kinda. It's nice. I think the ratio of kids to adults that I work with is kind of like upside down now. I spend like 1 day a week with adults and the rest of the week is with kids. So
Okay.
it's like, that's fine. Like I like kids well enough, but adults are definitely more interesting to talk to.
So do
Yeah.
you teach at an actual like institution, or is it like a separate, like they come
Like
to
an
you because they want to be,
extracurricular?
they want to,
Yeah, exactly like that. It's an extracurricular
Okay,
thing.
gotcha.
So they're called eikaiwas, which is like a conversation school. So in school, students will learn a lot of grammar and vocabulary and maybe some listening,
Mm-hmm.
but many times they only have a native English speaker in the classroom, like once a week or once a month or something. You know, it depends on the school board in that area.
Gotcha.
Some schools probably have people there all the time, though, if they're like a nicer school.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of students need to practice their English beyond what they learn in their regular classes. So they come to after school schools.
Are those children some like want to either move to bigger cities or to here, or like what's usually the reason why they're doing that?
Yeah, so it's all of those things. They either want to go to a like nicer university somewhere. So here, you know, we in the U.S. you have to like study for the SAT or ACT. They have similar tests there for English, and that would be one part of your application package to a university.
Okay.
So also people want a job like in tourism or something. I mean, so many people travel to Japan these days. So a lot of people want to work in hotels or, you know, entertainment or something.
Have you ever, in your experiences, been treated differently, whether it be positive or negative, because of your skin color?
Hard to
Or
say.
look.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stereotypes about how international people get treated in Japan. One of them, which is like the most common, is that you can go up to somebody and speak Japanese and they won't even process what you're saying and they'll just do something. So like,
Do something?
Like they just ignore you?
yeah, they'll assume that you're not speaking Japanese and will be like, oh, okay. Like, for example,
What?
I got a story. So I was taking a bus. My girlfriend lives about an hour away from me, and I can take the bus to go see her. And it's great. It's really convenient. It only costs like $8. So you can pay like $8 when you get off
What
the
does
bus.
it cost exactly? Is it yen?
Yeah, it's yen.
Yen,
Yen.
okay.
So it'd be like 800 yen or
Okay.
so.
Okay.
So it's 1 to 100.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the convenient way to think of it. It changes.
That's
but,
for Pakistan too.
yeah.
Our rupees are about $100. 100 rupees to $1.
Pakistan or Pakistan?
She
Whatever.
always says that. It's fine. So you take the bus.
I was taking a bus about an hour away, and when I was getting off the bus, I went to pay, and I wanted to buy a round trip ticket. So like 2 tickets, one for the trip there, and then another one I can use on the way back. And I give a guy exact change for like both ways, and I ask for, you know, can I have a return ticket? And he just takes the money and then gives me a one-way ticket. It's like, no, I didn't ask for that. I want a return trip too.
But if it was the exact amount of money it would be
You
for a
would-
round trip.
you would think.
Okay.
This is so weird. Why did they do that?
Well, he
I-
probably just didn't understand.
Yeah, I think a lot of
Okay.
times they assume this foreign person doesn't know what they want, and
Oh.
I'm
We
just
decide
gonna-
for them.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
a lot of that. Yeah.
Have you ever been like mistreated or like made fun of or anything?
No, not at all.
He wouldn't
that's
know.
nice.
He wouldn't know.
That's
They're
true.
probably like this white man behind his back all the time. All the
That could
time.
be the case.
It's so the Japanese word for a foreigner is gaijin, particularly for like white foreigners, gaijin, and
You hear that pretty often?
sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it like
If you ever hear
derogatory?
gaijin and then laughter, that's probably like
Do they call you Phil's son? Is that a thing?
It'd be ROSZAK-san because it's usually last name.
Oh,
First names are
okay.
like not used in
Gotcha.
Japan.
And that's just like out of respect they do that, or what is
Yeah,
that?
it'd be like Mr. ROSZAK or something.
Oh, okay, gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha.
family
It's-
names.
They say Mr. and Miss for teachers as well.
It's sensei.
Oh,
Which
that's
is-
so cool.
I know.
Sensei.
Every time-
That's hype.
In my old job, nobody ever called me sensei.
Sensei.
So in my new job, a lot of students, like middle schoolers, will be like, "Phil sensei," and I'm like, "Whoa, what?
He's like, I'll
That's
teach
so
you the
is
fire.
ways.
that me?"
That's so fire.
Yeah.
How about like socially? What do you get to do? Do you go out? Are there things that you do for fun?
Oh yeah, there's so much fun stuff to do there.
Explain.
Yeah, so I go out to clubs a lot. I was DJing for a little while. My friend.
What?
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy.
It was really cool.
Was it like English or like American songs, or was it like
Yes.
Japanese mostly?
I played where I was playing. You could do whatever you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
My friend DJs there, and he was given a night that he could set DJs for like once a month.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, I want to have all the international people from the whole city come out. So like there was a university there, and there was lots of students from China and students from other, Asian countries, and then a lot of people there teaching English too. and he was like, I want to make a night where like all of that whole community can come out, and we can also have Japanese people come too, just to
Right.
like bring everybody together. It was called the International Sunday Roast,
It's pretty cool.
Nice.
I guess a roast is like a UK thing. So
I thought it was like making fun of people.
Fun of, yeah. I thought
Right.
this is-
yeah,
but
that's
also a dinner.
that's yeah.
also a dinner.
Somewhere in between. that.
Originally, I thought roast. Okay.
Yeah. So
But-
clubs. What else?
I try to do a lot of hiking and stuff.
Okay.
I like to get in the mountains. Japan has like, we mentioned Tokyo. They have
Right.
huge dense cities, but they also have huge stretches of like completely unpopulated mountains and forests.
Wow.
You ever
Yeah.
been to Mount Fuji, the volcano, right?
Yeah.
Have you been like? Can you like take tourists?
You
stuff up there, or-
can. A lot of people hike to the top.
Okay.
It's like
It's an active volcano.
I think
I
so.
think
yeah.
so, yeah.
There's vaguely worries that it will
Right.
erupt someday and like destroy Tokyo, but
Yeah, it's been dormant
How
for a
long
long
has it-
time. It's like Yellowstone. It's still active, but like
But how long
When it
has it
erupts,
not
it's-
been? Like, when's the last time it erupted?
I think
I
it
have
was
no
like
idea.
400 years.
Oh,
maybe.
you are right. It's okay. Not in our time.
no, that's like that's a long time for it to not erupt and it's
Yeah.
still active.
Amber
That's
knows
dangerous.
volcanoes.
That's dangerous.
Do you ever get scared of like the sort of environmental things that happen in Japan? As far as there was like the
Like
big
radiation.
flood there, right?
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
like
there
the
was tsunamis.
reactors, the 2 reactors that like
Yeah.
leaked out as
The
well.
that was in Fukushima, which is right below where I live now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's not that worrying. Actually, coming back here, the thought crossed my mind of like mass shootings and how
Really?
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I was like, I don't need to worry about that, right? Like,
So as far as crime
It's
and things
fine.
like that, that's not a huge thing there.
no, not at all. They
You're safe
occasionally,
wherever.
yeah,
Hmm.
they've
Oh,
had like similar attacks to stuff that's happened here.
Okay.
There was, I don't know, maybe like 10 or 15 years ago, there was a guy in Tokyo who like rented a truck and like, rammed into a crowd, which is stuff that's happened here before too. But
Okay.
they don't have guns like nearly in any way like we do here. For hunting a little bit and stuff,
Yeah.
but nobody owns them recreationally. So
That's good.
Okay.
yeah.
So how long do you plan to stay there? Is this kind of like this is what life is?
I don't know. That's a tough question. Like, I think I definitely want to stay at least for 2-3 more years, maybe.
How old are you?
What-
I'm 29. I'll be
Okay.
30 next month. So
Okay.
What do you
Yeah.
like better, like here in the States or Japan?
Japan.
Like just overall Japan. Okay.
Japan, yeah.
Gotcha. Is it because it's a new experience, or just like there are things here that you just like don't? Are there certain things here that you don't like that maybe in Japan you don't have an issue with, or it's not prevalent?
Yeah, so I don't really have any issues in the U.S. Like, it's very easy to live here and stuff.
Right.
But I just think stuff isn't that nice.
Okay. Gotcha.
Like, everything feels a little cheaper and stuff.
Like outdated, or
No, just kind of like
You're talking about materialistic things, like
materialistic
Okay.
things.
Okay,
Yeah,
gotcha,
yeah.
gotcha.
But I would say in the U.S., people are so much more open and like communicative and stuff.
Mhm.
In Japan, people are pretty reserved, really keep to themselves. It's
Okay.
like it's easy to be friendly with people, but it's hard to make friends. I think people don't really open up.
Well,
Interesting.
If you,
Yeah.
are in Japan and you're into tech stuff, and Japan is known for tech stuff, why don't you do tech stuff there?
That's a great idea. I think I need to learn more Japanese first, but I have been looking for jobs in that way.
Okay.
That's good.
I like what I do now though, because it gives me a lot of flexibility. I think there are a lot of opportunities to get like corporate jobs there. And like we talked about before, they are really demanding. Like, you will spend your whole life at work.
Like you get burnt out.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think a lot of people go through that and they change jobs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
How has the move been for your parents and like your friends here and everything like that?
They've been sad, I guess. Not sad. That sounds terrible.
Just missing you.
Missing?
Yeah, yeah. I think a lot of people are really excited though, and like always have questions and want to
Yeah.
know, what are you doing? What's it like?
That's
I wish I
good.
could do that. You're so brave. And it's like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
not that
Are-
hard.
I mean, what would you say to people that like want to, or even don't know if they want to make such a drastic move? How do you mentally prepare yourself?
I don't know. I think you just have to not think about it that much. Like, if it's something you want to do, just decide that you're going to do it and then do it.
Figure it out there.
Yeah. Like, I've been there for almost 3 years now, but if you're not sure if you want to go abroad in that way, go for a year. And then, like, if you don't like it, leave. Like, a year isn't that much time. I think I could have left after that and come back to my life and things wouldn't have been that different, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
And how about like finding someone, you know, you mentioned you have a girlfriend, like
And she lives an hour away.
Yeah, well, we used to live in the same city, but we've both moved since then, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you deal with, like, you know, those conversations about, like, you know, like, I don't know if I'm going to be here or not or whatever, and like,
Yeah,
is that difficult?
it can be. I think
She's listening, so be careful.
I think Japanese people who have traveled abroad, they kind of understand the situation. But people who've never left Japan seem to be a little more close-minded. Almost all of my friends there have either studied abroad, been abroad, or are from another country.
Including
They're not
her?
from Japan.
She's been abroad? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's been to Canada 2 or 3 times.
Okay.
To like study English and stuff. So
How did she like it here compared to there? Have you guys ever talked about that? Like,
Well, Canada.
Was she
Not-
move
well,
over?
Canada, but still, it's
Will
like,
she move over here?
like, was she like,
maybe.
oh, I like,
She's thinking about changing jobs, so maybe.
okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool. We got to wrap this up, but anything else you would like to let people know about your experiences, how it's been? Any shout outs to Japan?
Like
in
the
general?
craziest
Yeah.
experience you ever had, or, you know.
Man, Japan is a very safe country, so it's easy to feel overconfident in a situation, like going out in Tokyo and stuff and going to a club. You can very quickly be like, well, I guess I'm not going to come home tonight and I'll figure it out, because there is like so many businesses and like so many restaurants and bars and things that are open all the time. It feels like a place that is like limitless.
Oh,
It's
wow.
weird. Yeah. So not only like going out, but like traveling and stuff. There are so many beautiful places to see there. It's weird to have such a small country, but it feels so big. Like in every way it feels big. There are so many different weird variations on foods and stuff there that like I feel like you could go to Japan and never run out of new things to try, new places to go, new things to do.
What's your
So-
favorite
Okay.
Japanese food?
That's a hard question. I really like okonomiyaki.
Okay, what is it?
What's that?
It's often called a Japanese pancake, which is entirely misleading. It's not a pancake.
What is
Is it like that jiggly, like dough thing, or like the bread?
Emma,
No.
if you don't stop with your sources,
No, I'm just
Being
wondering.
wrong.
I was just wondering.
Try. He's only been wrong
It
once.
could be.
He has a pretty
What
good.
is it?
So it's a bunch of vegetables, usually like chopped cabbage,
Okay.
maybe some other stuff, mixed together with dough and meat, and then grilled. Kind
You
of
got
looks
the
like
dough
a,
right.
yeah, kind of like a pancake actually. But then on top you put
You just said-
Not a pancake.
Not a
It's
pancake,
misleading.
what type of
It's like a
pancake have you
prata, bro.
seen?
So, so
Oh,
a
it is a
pancake filled
prata.
with
It's like a prata.
Is it
filled with meat and vegetables.
Vegetables.
Yeah.
Is it cooked in oil? A little bit of
It's
oil.
like fried or like kind of like.
Cooked on like a hot grill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Grill. Oh,
It's
like
a
that.
Like
it's
a-
what
like
is
a-
described like a pancake mixed filled
Like a
with
prata,
meat
bro.
and vegetables.
Like a
Yeah.
prata.
And then a lot of
meat pie.
sauce. A lot of sauce.
A meat pie.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about like
Yeah,
candy?
kinda.
I heard they have like crazy candy flavors.
They do,
So
yeah.
I had to ask. Like I heard they have like,
like
crazy.
Kit Kats.
Yeah,
Have
Kit
all
Kats.
the
yeah,
different
yeah,
Kit
yeah.
Kats.
Yeah, I actually
Green tea Kit Kat.
Yeah.
green
Matcha
tea
Kit
Kit
Kat.
Kats. Yes, yes.
I love matcha.
You got to go to Japan. It's everywhere.
Okay, I'm going to Japan just for matcha.
Anything you particularly miss, like whether it be food or anything else?
From
about home?
Japan while I'm
Yeah,
here, or
yeah.
from here while
Yeah, yeah, in Japan, with the
Um,
U.S., like a nice Five Guys burger. I don't know if they have Five Guys there.
yeah, I mean,
Like a McChicken or something.
They probably have a
I know, I
McChicken
know.
there.
they do. Yeah, I think they have McChicken.
They're probably better
Okay.
there too.
Actually, yeah, kinda.
They're probably because the thing is like McDonald's overseas is like fine dining.
Yeah, definitely the hamburgers there are really good, but the chicken is a little disappointing. I think.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah, anything you miss?
Crab cakes.
Well, that's a
And-
Maryland
Yeah.
thing specifically, but yeah.
It's a lot of just specifically Maryland stuff that I miss.
What
Well, they
about,
have a
like,
lot of
crabs?
seafood there, so
Right.
they
Yeah.
don't do crab
They-
cakes like that?
lobsters or
They
crabs
do,
or-
but not crab cakes.
Okay.
Just
I want-
just crab.
You could
You
open
know?
up like
I
a
want
crab
crab
cake
legs.
restaurant or something.
I've thought
What if that
about
goes
it.
fire?
Phil's crab cakes.
Yeah.
Yeah, from what you've described and your experience and everything, it seems like it's a lot towards like, you know, exploring, being
Yeah,
curious, but
yeah.
also being respectful of them, their culture, not going in sort of naive and
Yeah.
as Americans can sometimes do with being overly confident.
Yeah, I think to have a good time in Japan, you have to be open-minded and like pay attention to what's going on, be respectful. If you do that, then it's a great place to be. You can have a lot of fun.
If you move back here, what would you miss about Japan?
Probably the bathrooms. They're very, very nice. Like,
What?
Oh no, like that's like
Yeah.
a daily thing. Okay.
yeah, because being here, I've been taking a shower and like, yeah, it's fine. You know, it's a shower.
Right.
But I enjoy taking a shower there so much more.
What's the difference?
What's the?
So you usually sit down. There's like a small
In the
stool
shower?
you'll sit on, yeah. And you have like a handheld shower head, maybe like a large bowl of water you can pour over yourself.
So you want to go back in
It's
time?
like the band is hype
Yeah, we
It's-
would do that in
the-
like, you know, in
in Pakistan.
in our
Yeah.
like we'd have a bucket and we'd put it over our heads.
Yeah.
On a
putting-
stool, just like
I
that.
was thinking
the
it was
end,
like
putting the
nicer,
whole
meaning it
bucket
was
up?
like.
Oh, it is.
like
like-
teched up.
Teched
Yeah,
up,
teched
yeah.
up.
Oh, it is.
Oh, it
It's
is?
much
Oh, really?
nicer too. Yeah.
Okay.
The I moved into a new apartment when I started my new job, and there's like an automated thing that will fill the bath to just the right temperature, and it'll like ring a little alarm when the bath
What?
is full and stuff.
crazy.
Ring an
Wow.
alarm.
Yeah, like a
That's
nice
cool.
little chime will play like ding 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 ding.
That's
No
cool.
way.
So like you
It's
could,
cool.
if you're getting ready for work, you could set that probably so that
But
it's
why would you take a
ready
bath
every
before
morning.
work?
No, not a bath, but
Bath,
like I don't
yeah.
know, like getting
Right,
the
right,
shower,
right,
different
right.
things. I don't
Because
know.
like you have
Yeah.
to wait
That's
when you
smart.
turn on the shower you know, for it to get
what
hot.
about the toilets? Do you use water?
Is it a bidet?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
do
yeah,
have
it's
bidets, and they do have water too.
What do you?
Have you used it?
The bidet.
Yeah.
Do you
Oh,
like
yeah,
toilet
yeah.
paper or water better?
Oh, the water is so
See?
much better.
Thank you.
So
Thank
much
you.
better.
Yes.
Tell
US.
people here. We've been
Tell
trying to
all
say
the-
this for. We
tell
use
everyone.
we use water too
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
our bathrooms here.
Oh,
we have little
wow.
pots and everything.
Yeah.
Because it's just cleaner.
It's
Yeah.
so much cleaner.
Yeah.
It's so much cleaner.
There's so
Get
much.
it.
If you
There's
come
so much
back
more
here-
residue left with
Yes.
the paper towel. Like
Yes.
they don't understand that.
He
It
gets
is
it.
uncomfortable.
Thank you.
There you
Being
go.
here and using toilet paper has not been nice.
See,
Like,
explaining that to people. Imagine.
But
It's just
our
like,
guest
why
last
would
week-
I touch like?
Our
yeah,
guest last week
yeah.
was about to bring it out for tea from my bathroom.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
She was like,
like-
I don't.
she
She was
was-
like, she was Russian. She's like, I don't know why you have a pot. But
She's like, "What is that for?" Like, I was gonna bring it out for tea, and I was like, "No."
No.
it's just about understanding what the norm is and then actually trying it for yourself and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like I mean, in America, we can be ignorant to a lot of things, but
When you come back here, you're gonna use water.
Did you like get
Oh.
a pot or like a bidet for where you're staying now? Like, you're like,
No, I'm only here for like a couple of days. So
Okay, you should
yeah.
convert your parents over.
Just
to
so
the
you know.
system.
I would.
Just so you know, a water bottle when you're
Mhm.
traveling is perfectly fine.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Good
what
tip.
we
Yeah.
do.
Good tip.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Very nice tip. Wow.
yeah. Is there anything that you want to promote or your social media in any way or anything like that for people to find you anywhere?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram. I don't remember my handle, but if
Okay.
you search for Philip ROSZAK, you might find me.
Okay. Well, if you find it, send
I'm
it
gonna
to
get
me.
a
I'll
lot of
link it in the
followers from
description.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think it'd be great to sort of share your experiences in some way, whether it be blogging it, you know, you take great photographs and,
You know,
just
overseas
write things.
people who live in Japan
Mm-hmm.
are very popular on YouTube.
Vlogging.
Yeah.
Very
You
popular.
could
on
really
YouTube.
start doing that.
I've
You
been
and your
considering
girlfriend could have a
vlogging.
family vlogging channel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A family? Did you say a
What
family?
is a family
channel?
Family
vlog?
vlogging channel.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't.
It's
have to
okay.
do
He
it.
can do
Just
it with
okay,
vlogging.
a couple,
him
a
and his
couple, a
girlfriend.
couple vlogging
Him and his
channels.
Yeah.
girlfriend. Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go.
Well, they're
I was
always
trying to
ideas,
make
but
when the girl's listening. I'm trying to make her feel good. You know what? This your family, girl. Go ahead, snag that.
She's like family. He never told me about this.
snag that.
So if I can flip this, what do you guys want to see in a Japanese vlog channel? Because for me, as a person living in Japan watching Japanese vlogs, I don't like them. I find
Really?
them to be really annoying, actually.
Like
yeah.
the differences. Like I've watched a lot of those videos that are
Yeah.
like, oh, like when I was like, these are the differences, and I've done that. Watched them for all different countries, like
Okay.
Japan and whatever. And then having your girlfriend try American things and seeing her reaction.
Okay.
that's a good one.
Her introducing things and like maybe words and like stuff like that to
Huh.
you.
Okay.
Yeah, new stuff that she introduced to you, and then your reaction initially and like your thoughts, and then I guess like the whole food market there,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
I
That would be
think
cool.
I
Yeah.
think for people that are
The
living
city.
here, it might be good to see that. But as far as like, you know, being Pakistani and knowing everything that kind of goes on there, I only watch Pakistani vloggers.
Yeah.
So there are American vloggers that do that, and for the most part, it's annoying watching it because yeah, some things are funny, but it's always like, oh, curry, oh, this, and it's just like, all right, like that's not accurate at all, and it's very touristy almost.
Yeah,
But there is
yeah.
one girl, she goes by Ava Zuber something. She's from New Zealand, I think. But she does it in a really nice way where she always has somebody with her, like whether a new friend or somebody that she's meeting, and they kind of give their story, and she's just kind of narrating what's going on, what she's experiencing. So you get both perspectives, and it's done in a really nice and tasteful way. So I think that like if you were able to pull that off and really just like make it about the Japanese people and not about yourself, which I think you're great at doing anyways, because sometimes with the vlogging thing, people get caught up in themselves and like, oh yeah, like I'm in Japan, let me, like Logan Paul who went to the suicide forest. I don't know if you heard about
Oh,
this, but
yeah, we
Don't do
definitely
that.
heard about that. That was a
Oh, that was a huge
huge
thing?
How was
thing.
it? Yeah, like how did they react there?
People were really like, that guy sucks. They weren't even like engaging with it in like a, we need to talk about why he's bad. It was just like, what an idiot. Like,
yeah.
Is that
Yeah,
like
sure.
is that like
Yeah.
a force
Yeah.
that everybody knows about in Japan?
oh yeah, definitely.
It's just like a
Yeah.
everybody knows what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Why isn't there like heightened authorities there?
I mean, it's the same way that like the Golden Gate Bridge, California, has a lot of suicides. Like, some places people are gonna just kill themselves.
Right.
Like,
Well, as long as you don't pull a Logan Paul, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like pretty much like have his girlfriend like kind of take him kind of like a tour around Japan. Is
Or
what you're saying?
anybody. It doesn't
like,
have to necessarily be that, but like,
Oh
you know,
yeah,
just
your
involve it.
friends and like
Just live your life the way that you live it and try to go for experiences and
So
show what the people are like there and what they're about.
so get a perspective from the people who actually live there.
For sure. I
Yeah,
think that's super
yeah.
important about anywhere you go and anywhere you go about doing anything. But yeah, well, Phil, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
wish
guys.
we could have done this like a lot longer because I think we have so many questions and things like that.
For sure.
But that's what opens it up for, you know, your sort of Instagram and your possible vlog or whatever and what you do. But yeah, it's been exciting talking to you, and we can't wait to see what you do next.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me here. It was a lot of fun to talk about my experiences.
Yeah. And before you go, there's always one question that we ask every guest before they leave.
All right, bring it
And-
on.
And Amber, you can take it away.
If you could describe yourself as any flavor, what would it be and why?
Please be something Japanese.
I know.
Mochi.
Let him.
I'm so
Don't-
sorry. I'm
don't.
so sorry. I'm so sorry.
To
No,
describe,
that's fine.
to describe Phil
Yeah.
and why.
To describe Phil. Hojicha.
Okay.
Hojicha is the roasted version of green tea. So it's not black tea, but it's got more of like a black tea like flavor, a little smoky, kind of mild, low caffeine.
And why would that
why
describe
would
you?
that? Yeah.
Because I feel like I'm definitely not green tea. Green tea is way too lively. I'm a little more relaxed, a little more smoky, a little more mellow, but still a classic, I'd say.
Wow,
That was
perfect.
such a
was
perfect.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful answer.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's been Phil, back from Japan and going back soon. Thank you, Phil, for joining us, and thank you to all the listeners for joining us for another episode of Strange Flavors. It's been another week.
Another
Flavor.
flavor.
A
I
little
knew
less
it.
stranger.
We'll talk to you next.